literally is no pressure. I'm your host Bang Bug, and we got a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Brooke Legion. Brooke with an E, Legion, Legione.
Yeah, I see you got good energy, so hopefully this
Mm-hmm.
this go pretty smooth. So I heard you say you from Indiana. So you from like what
I
part?
know you want to say Gary because that's what people want to say because that's what they be knowing. But no, I am from the capital, Indianapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was it like growing up in Indianapolis?
It was cool. I mean, it was just like any other little, black little neighborhood. Grew up um, on 39th and Capitol. What's up, 40th? But I loved it. I loved my childhood. I want to say I have really, really great parents. So no matter where we lived, I probably would have been cool. But just normal growing up, dealing with day to day, getting bullied, getting in fights, growing up.
Well, give me one of your worst like bullying experiences.
Oh, no, like, it's embarrassing because like I. I'm sorry.
What the? Can they turn that down, man? If you don't mind. This shit too loud, bro.
I'm sorry. What you ask me?
What's
I
one of
can't
your
stop laughing.
what's your worst bullying
Experience?
experience? Yeah.
I mean, I probably had really bad ones that I probably blocked out just because, like, I was really nerdy growing up, really, really nerdy, and I just didn't understand when people were bullying me a lot of time. Like, people would copy my homework, or I pretty much help them do their homework, or pretty much do their homework, and I didn't realize, like, my mom was such a big Christian, so she'd be, oh, if you're helping, you're doing God's work. So I was such a big in my head. I'm just helping people. I'm just helping people, not realizing these people were using me until one time this girl was like, oh, let me go ask my walking dictionary, and then came over to me and was like, oh, what's these answers? And I was just like, that didn't feel good. So I mean, it's like I probably had really bad situations. I probably the worst one that I realized because the problem is I don't realize when I'm being bullied because I'm just like a positive person.
Yeah.
So I think I had just got these brand new shoes. Now my mama was the Payless Queen. Or we went to the Value Village, Value World. I got one of them too, and get shoes and clothes stuff like that.
Yeah. We all know.
Like just a thrift store or whatever. So most of my clothes came from the thrift store, so that's a lot of time why I got bullied. And my mama bought all my shoes from Payless or the thrift store. So she used to always have these different brands that were popular at the Payless, but there was these Airwalks, y'all. The Airwalks, y'all don't know. If you was a kid growing up and you went to Payless, them Airwalks was the ones. They used to press it. They was the more expensive, cheaper shoes, and she would never let me get them. But they had some really cute ones I fell in love with. And she finally let me get them. I was so proud of them. I was talking about them at school. I was walking around in them but I didn't know they were knockoff versions of some Jordans that had came out. So but I didn't even know that Jordans existed. I didn't know name brand shoes until I was in high school.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know, and I was like in the after school art program. I used to do like make clay and stuff like that, and we were like all kicking it, and they was like, "Oh, you got them new Jordans," and I was the only girl. All the boys surrounded me and was like, "Yeah, we got them new shoes." But then they was like, "Oh, them ain't J's," and I was like, but I didn't know, so I was just like, "No, they're not J's. I don't know what those are, but these are Airwalks." And my mama got me. I told them the whole story, and they was just looking at me like, "That's what's up." But I didn't realize that was like a bullying situation until probably like years later.
Okay, so your parents are like they still together now?
My dad has passed away, so yeah, they was together for 20 years, 21 years. Yeah.
And so was it like natural causes or like
Yeah, I guess you would say natural causes, congestive heart failure, working too hard, too long. He took care of himself, but not to the extent that he should have. And then I guess diabetes came into play like later in life, probably like the last 2 years. But yeah, more like work yourself to death kind of thing. So he did a million different jobs like when I was growing up. And he was born in the 50s, so my daddy was old. Literally born in 1950. So I have older parents.
Okay.
That's
So-
good though.
So was like that was like your most traumatic experience growing up?
When I
Or
lose
was
my
he
dad?
dead? Yeah.
No, I didn't lose my dad until I was in college.
Oh, okay.
No, he was in this thing for a minute. My daddy was there for most of my life. I had an amazing dad. No, they were together, married my whole life. He died my junior year of college.
So when he passed away, did he kind of like did everything kind of shut down, or you was one of them people like I just got to stay busy, not to think about?
My family is like that. We are busy people. So we all were staying very, very busy. Like at the time that he was in the hospice for 2 weeks. And I didn't get there. I was doing finals. And I was like, well, what I'm going to do is knock out my finals a week early, and then I'll go down and see my dad. But when my dad got sick, he taught me how to drive. So this is like weird, but he taught me how to drive. I used to drive everything, semi trucks. But when he got sick, I started having a weird phobia about driving. And I really like needed a partner with me to drive back home because I was in Muncie, Indiana at Ball State University. And then I kept having people say they were going to come with me. They were coming with me. And I waited and waited. And when I got there, it was that very moment he died, like when I was in the parking lot.
In the car with you?
No, I was in the car parking in the hospital.
Okay.
And then I like went up the elevator. I was in the hallway. And he died when I was like in the hallway.
Oh damn.
As soon as I got there, they was like, he just died.
So like I guess when that happened, did you cry? Like did you kind of hide it? How'd you feel?
Yeah, I was very sure when my dad died I was gonna die. Like, do you ever love somebody so much that you think like if they're not around anymore, I should cease to exist? Like that's how I felt about my dad. Like that was my best friend. My dad was, and I was telling all my friends like if he dies, I don't think I'm going to keep living. And I didn't know what was going to happen when he died because I was scared. I really thought my heart was going to stop from broken heart or something.
Yeah.
But when and that's a big reason why I was scared to get up there. But once I finally got up there and I was in the hallway and they told me that, I never in my life passed out, but I fainted. My ankles got weak and I just fainted on the ground. I had to get in a little wheelchair, but I was okay.
You didn't bust your head?
No, I was able to get up. No, it was that my aunt my cousin Woody had came out and told me like he just died, and to stop me ahead of time so that when you walk through because he was alive on my car ride down there. My mom called me, so I guess she was just trying to like stop me before I come in and see that he was dead. But when she stopped me, when she had her hands in my hands, that's when I fell and.
Oh, okay.
Everybody got me. And my best friend Tutu, shout out Tutu, was there. That she held me. She held me too.
Okay. So do you feel like there's healthy, like your family, like staying busy, trying not to?
Oh no, it's extremely bad. But I think different families have toxic patterns that they continue to do for years. And we're like busy ass people. Like my mom. All my life, she was a graphic designer, and she had her own business. She was working for another company for like 30 years, and then had her own company for another 30 years. And then after my dad got sick, she was like, okay, well, I got to do something, which is like how we are. And she went back to school and got her doctorate. And now she's an art therapist, and she has a practice with that. So while that was going on, all my dad was sick, she was in college. And I was in college. We both were in college at the same time. We graduated the same year. My brother was working like some demanding job, and neither of us was there when my dad died. He got there after me, and like we just was working. We would not stop working. Like
it looked like you don't have kids. You got kids?
oh,
Yeah.
I do not have kids.
It looked like okay. So what you feel like is your hardest decision you done had to make so far in life?
Oh man, definitely would have been there when my daddy died. That was one of them. One of my hardest decisions. I think one of my biggest mistakes. It's kind of like two things. I chose someone to date, and I learned a lot of life lessons. But I was dating someone else, and I wanted them to be my boyfriend. I was very adamant about it. But we had a little fucking have fun thing going on for a while, and I was happy with that. But then I started liking him like all people do, and he was like, "I'm not ready for that," and I was just like, "Okay, well, I'm desirable. People want me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go find me somebody who want to be with me." And that person, shout out to him. He's a lovely guy. We're friends now, but we were in a terrible relationship for 7 years, and I was verbally abused for a long time.
Okay, what's verbal abuse?
Verbal abuse is you're a weak person. I wouldn't want to have kids with you. I just he'll come into the house and be mad at me about the dishes not being washed. Keeps trying to tear me down.
What you mean, like sex or something?
No, not sex too. Sex be included too. It'd be like, oh, well, you ain't giving me what I want today. So he'll be mad the whole day and then torture me like the whole day. Like,
he was probably cheating.
He cheated on me once early in the relationship. We broke up and we got back together. If he was still cheating, I literally used to pray that he was cheating because I wanted to be free that bad. I wish he'd find somebody else.
Woman, though. You sound like a good woman.
I mean, I say I was good, but my music has always been more important than anything else.
Right.
And that was a problem for him. Is that
I was sit right here, bro. If you're gonna talk to him, he did that the last time.
Yeah. I get it.
Man, it'd be hard. That's the only thing I say about me is it's hard for me to have a music balance with my relationships.
Yeah, pull it up.
Because I'm an engineer, so I was working in studios for a while, and that became a problem. I was never home. Even before then, I always have a second room for a studio.
Right.
Always, because that's what my degree's in. I'm always making beats, recording something.
You know how to make beats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a producer as well. All my beats, well, on this album, were made by my brother. But my last album, and on my previous project.
What kind of equipment do y'all use?
Well, he uses Ableton Live and MPC, and he does Windows. I use, because sometimes we work on stuff together, I use Pro Tools, GarageBand, Logic, but not as much. I know people hate it, but I'm more in GarageBand than Logic because I learned Garage. That's the DAW that I learned. So that's the one I like. And in school, they didn't teach us that. I was only taught engineering, mixing, mastering, editing.
Okay, so what's like your favorite song that you can hear and it'll kind of get you in your feelings or it might make you break down?
One I wrote or anyone?
The one you wrote in or somebody else's song?
One that always can take me there is Tupac, Thug's Mansion, the acoustic version with Nas. That one, every corner, every city, there's a place where life's a little easy.
I ain't never heard
Little
of it.
Hennessy, lay back and cool every hour, cause it's all good. But when it's stressed on the ground outside,
I'ma listen
will
to
be
it.
alright. It's a beautiful song. Nothing but peace, love, nothing past. I don't know what they say there. All you need is a thug mansion. It's a beautiful song. But that one,
Why does it get you in your feelings?
cause Pac remind me of when I first fell in love with music.
What was your first song that you heard of Pop?
Better Days. And that was because I had a cousin, shout out Derek. I had a cousin who lived next door to me, and he was moving out, and he was just giving away a bunch of stuff. And my parents were super Christian. I couldn't listen to radio that had cuss words or CDs that had cuss words, and so I didn't know really about anything but CC Winans, Evie Winans CDs, Yolanda Adams. But my cousin was like, "You gonna like this? Listen to it." And I was like, oh my God, he's saying bad words, but I didn't know this kind of music was out there.
Right.
And I just fell in love, and then I just started YouTube and Googling everything Tupac. And that's why it always does that for me. But for me, one of my songs that will always get me there is In the Shit. Because that one really was, I wrote that right when I was trying to get out of my relationship, and I knew I needed to get out.
In this shit.
Like, cause I was like, we both sitting in this motherfucker. Like, that's pretty much the line is, the longer we sit, the less it stink. Cause we just in the shit. We just won't get out of it, and we just continue to treat each other worse and worse and worse.
Right.
Okay, so when the last time you cried about something?
I just cried yesterday, or the day before yesterday, cause a relationship I thought was one way, I think has kind of changed. You ever like have a friendship or even a relationship, and you guys meet back up, and you're like, oh man, it's gonna be like it was, and it's not gonna be like it was, and you're the only one who feels like that, and then you don't know until you're like, oh, I want to kiss you, and they're like, oh, chill, we not on that yet, and I'm like, oh, we were just fucking before, and now you don't even want to kiss.
What kind of guys did you go for? It seems like you want guys who don't really want you or something.
Oh
Well,
man, that sucks.
You think that it seems like you think you think they want to do what you want to do, but they thinking other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it be like that sometimes. I feel like I got a bad history of being excited. I get excited very easily.
What's your sign is?
Virgo.
Virgo, yeah.
I get very
I'm a
excited.
Libra. You know what I'm saying? My birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday! That's it's y'all season now. We just ended, but yeah, I think I don't know if it's the Virgo
like that
though.
too.
You get excited too.
Because I be just talking to a female and then
I'm like, oh, they got,
they were like,
they got,
you already
they
planning
own
the
stuff
future, and I
going
be
on.
like, no.
I'm not planning a future.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we got a good vibe. So
Yeah, we
it
got
just
good
was
vibe.
more like me and that person had a really crazy connection.
Yeah.
I finally seen him after a long time, and I was like, damn, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we seen each other, and I think it's gonna go well. But then we were texting each other, and he was like, nah, you need to chill out a little bit, and I was like, oh damn, okay.
Yeah, you overly excited, but he's not.
Right, you don't know the situation yet, and you get excited, and then your feelings get hurt because the situation ain't been assessed, and your ass is out there on the wind, nobody out there with you.
I've been like that on a female too, because I was overly excited, and she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But she just wanted to. But when I'm trying to get into it, it's like it's left field. You
There's
know
different seasons in your life, though. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And different people, because different people I run to, I'd be like, okay, they could probably be a future person, but I don't want that right now. So.
Right.
Well, I'm saying, what kind of guy do you usually go for? Like, is it a certain type like that you usually go for?
It's a certain type I like, but ain't the type that I get.
Yeah. What's the type that you go for? Like,
the type that I be wanting, y'all. The type that I be wanting. I'll be liking them chocolate brothers. Don't be looking at me like that. I'll be loving them chocolate tall brothers, man. Yeah. Man, oh man, I love them. I can't, man. But I always end up getting skinny, light-skinned people. But
the opposites attract though.
Yeah, and that's what it be, because like I be wanting somebody who's like got their own thing going on.
Yeah. But
I think I like to take care of people.
Yeah. And
like pour my resources into people, because I be like, oh yeah, you living in your mama's basement, but you go to work every day, you hard working, and you know you drug dealing, but that's cool. You know, you just trying to pay your bills.
So you want no female?
But that's white though.
And I'm like, I fuck with you. I'll put gas in your tank. Come on, see.
So you want no females, like if you meet a dude who like kind of like sleeping on somebody's couch, you'll be like, after a couple months, you be like, well, just come live with me.
Yeah, well, I'll take care of it. I'll pay it. Don't worry. I know I've been paying every time we eat, but that's okay because I make more money than you. I ain't tripping.
But she a good woman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, but that's not. You can't be that way because people
in a world full of fake ass people.
People are waiting. And
I'm saying if you can, it's just like you really have to pick somebody who wants you. Like you have to go for the person who wants you instead of the person you want. You know what I'm saying?
I see
Cause
what
this
you're
is life.
saying, but
This
that's
is life.
that's my problem.
Just like
As I be, people sometimes will see me and think like, oh, she would never speak to me, or she's like, and the funny thing is, I would really not like that because it's not like I value myself at a lower level, but I really would talk to anybody, even if I'm not attracted to them. I end up talking to them and happen to like them because I'm really about conversation and understanding people and connections.
like spirits.
Yeah, I'm really about spirituality. So if I meet somebody and they could be, I don't know, a complete opposite of what I'm interested in, maybe even a white man, which would be completely far left for me.
But if he got a good vibe,
nigga, we have a great time together. The chemistry is there. I'm on a date with Connor or whatever, because of the vibe. Like I done been out with a bunch of people like are shorter guys or bigger guys. I really would date anybody if I feel like they got a cool vibe, and that's the problem.
So you don't have to be sexually attracted to a guy, like to.
Because I think that sexual attraction is based on desire.
Yeah.
And I don't desire people because they look good. Yeah. I just don't. And I mean, maybe it's something weird in me that I don't see fine people want to fuck them. I don't. Yeah. Even like I go on dates and people be trying to like go that way, and we may both be attractive, but I'm like, you don't know me. Why would you even want to desire to touch me?
I'm saying, yeah, you kind of like gotta let a woman make the moves.
Yeah.
Just let them do everything instead of like, making the move. But I mean, okay, I'll give you an example. Like, I met a chick who came over like in like no drawers and no bra.
See, but I don't be wearing no drawers, no bras all the time.
And you would come get in somebody's bed and then be like, why are you trying to have sex with me?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Because
but
I got no titties. I gotta wear a bra. And I never wear underwear. Most women will tell you they hate underwear.
Yeah, because simple fact, they don't want to. They wear bras 24/7, so sometimes they don't want to wear this shit. Yeah.
I may be here and here with you, but it's still my time to relax. Yeah. I gotta have a bra on and some panties on just to let you know I said no. No, you come over here, I'm gonna tell your ass no.
Yeah.
But that should be, enough. But for me, it's more like you gotta read the room.
Yeah.
You could tell if a sister wanna fuck you, and you can tell if she don't. Yeah. And you can tell if you pressing it too.
Right. Sometimes you can. What do you say?
Your interview number 2 is here.
Okay. Shit, I lost track of what I was about to say. What I was about to say, I done forgot.
You're saying you saying.
No, you was just saying like that there's something to be said about the limitations that a woman will provide if she's naked, if she's to an extent seeming like she's throwing it at you, as they would say. Yeah,
but she came over at the time of the night and all that, but yeah.
I come over time of night and expect to chill with a nigga like a homegirl. Yeah. And if you ain't on that, I will get upset and ask you to leave, and you will never come back.
But you see
because you don't respect boundaries. Yeah. You respect my boundaries. I'd be like, okay.
I'm saying, wouldn't it be simpler though, just to kind of keep things to where like y'all in a setting to where like he shouldn't be trying, and instead of just like waiting until you ready to get in a.
But then I can't invite you over until I'm ready.
I'm saying, as far as like, okay, if you're not gonna have sex, just get in the bed with clothes on instead of like damn
you
naked.
Saying you rather
like don't give me like misleading stuff. Yeah.
I mean, did she reach out and touch you? Start rubbing on you?
Yeah, basically.
Well, then she didn't know what she wanted. Like that's how I feel. I don't be reaching out and rubbing on you, touching on you, pulling on you. I don't do that. I'm just over here chilling. If we vibing and I'm liking your energy, I may lay on your shoulder, or maybe put my legs over your legs. Yeah. But I'm not grabbing no penises and trying to kiss you. Kisses are so intimate. I don't even like people trying to kiss me. Yeah. What are you doing? It be an emotion, a movement. When it's perfect moment to kiss, you want to kiss. But somebody just keep kissing on you. Yeah. I get very uncomfortable very easily.
Yeah, I like to just let shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have that on my mind. Like, I'm finna fuck tonight because she came over here and then it'll be like, You know what I'm saying? She laying there, you know, put your
It's
head on
like
her
a go. You want to
shoulder.
go with the flow.
Flow,
Type
go
of
with the
vibe.
flow type
But
shit.
you gotta be careful, motherfuckers who say that though.
Yeah.
They be why slow down. We just going with the flow. Why can't we just go with the flow?
Yeah.
Like, boy.
You aren't pretty though. You remind me of my ex from Tuscaloosa. She moved up here and everything.
No.
She
Glad
looks
to
similar.
revisit.
The same color and everything. Had dreads. Okay, but the hardest thing that you had to struggle with.
You mean in life or like ever?
Life and in music.
And in music. With music, I say it's the idea of being taken as just a woman. Like, because I have my degree, I worked in studios for the last 2 years. I won't say that I'm like got it going on. I definitely have a lot more to learn, and I'm doing my own path. But I know enough to be able to discuss stuff with people. And I think when I'm on the scene, honestly, just took a break from doing any shows because the men in this industry make me sick sometimes.
Yeah.
The way they be talking to me, like I just have no possible clue on what's going on here. Like
It's
how the
It's
fuck
like
did I get here?
programming though. It's
It'd
like
be like, did you
programming.
know you should? I had a man tell me, oh yeah, oh you're an engineer. Have you studied under anybody? Who you know that? Who do I know that you studied? Why do I have to tell you that?
Right.
I could tell you a bunch of names I bet you wouldn't know, but it don't really matter.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to prove whether or not I should be here to have this conversation with you. If you want to discuss engineering, we can discuss engineering. But what you talking about right now, you talking about cloud. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to do that shit with you. And then it was just, and I could get you in these places. And I get that so fucking much. It's exhausting. Oh, baby girl, yeah, let me exchange some information with you. And we can do this and we can do that. And it always end up you calling me at 4 a.m, talking about what I'm doing. This is a business line. Why are you calling the business line at 4 a.m?
It's separate business and music, bro.
But they don't see that when you're a woman. They
Just
don't
like we
see
were
that.
doing last night. We was vibing. You know what I'm saying? We were listening to music. We were trying to, and you were trying to see which one of the beats I can send to you. Like we were vibing. Like I was vibing. Like we in the moment. To keep business separated.
You know, it's completely separate. So if you coming to me and approach me in that way, like even just sometimes even just conversations, they'll just be talking to me like with that man, he kept telling me, well, I don't know him. I'm like, you don't know him, but he out here getting Tonys and Grammys mixing. You may not know these particular engineers, but it doesn't really matter. And then he kept going on about his label, and I don't even know this man. Like, and that it's like that every single time.
Okay, so have you had a guy just straight up say, "Give me some, and I can get you this"? Was it like a big person, or it was just like
it was a
like
bold
celebrity?
person?
I mean, it was somebody that could probably get you somewhere, but probably not far enough.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not saying like that. Like there's an equate. Like I do not have a particular price on my vagina in equation for opportunities. I don't know that price because I don't think that it exists. So I can't tell you whether or not the opportunity would have mattered. But no. Yeah. But yeah, they do that shit all the time. If you come over here, if you do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one of your biggest regrets so far?
So far in the music industry.
Well, in life.
Just in life.
Or music.
I don't know, man. I made a lot of mistakes.
Like all of us.
Like I feel like I made a lot of mistakes, but I think that we all have, you know, what you will. I think we all have destiny.
Right.
And I believe that we make a lot of mistakes that throw us off our path. But I think eventually we always gonna get where we're supposed to get. So I think I made a lot of mistakes. I should have went to KSU when I had a full ride. I should have went to Clark Atlanta, but I went to Ball State and I had a horrible time there. It was a conservatory. I had sing classical music for 4 years. It was very hard for me. But I was discouraged from going to black schools, and I ended up going there and having to take on debt just to go there when I have full rides to other places. So I will say in my entire life, that's one thing I always think about. how my life would have been different if I went there.
But you still, you wouldn't be the person you is today.
Oh, I wouldn't have had an engineering degree.
You had
I would have been just. I think I had a full ride scholarship for the choir.
Yeah.
I would have been like probably a vocal education major
Yeah.
and be teaching somewhere and probably singing Broadway on the side, doing off Broadway shows and shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you could delete a memory, what would it be and why?
Delete a memory? I don't know. I think
You got some
one
fire
time I
questions.
seen right. I'm like one time I seen somebody jump out a window on shrooms, and it was super traumatic. He was like ass naked, and it was somebody I was in love with.
Did he die?
Nah, he alive. Shout out to you. He know who he is. He all right now. He was having a bad trip because we was breaking up.
Dang.
And he did shrooms. Like we had to go on. I was coming back to Atlanta. We was doing a going away party, and he was on shrooms. He started tripping real bad, and they was like, "Why you just take him upstairs, Brooke? Fuck him or something." And I was like, all right. And he took his clothes off, so I was like, we gonna have some sex, all right. And then he leapt out the window, took off his phone. I was like, and he did it more than once. Like I jumped after him, I leapt out of the window.
Second story?
It was no.
He break his ankle or anything?
No, he the first time he opened the window, and so I leapt after him and pulled him back in.
Yeah.
And the next time, he took all his clothes off, so I thought we was gonna have sex, and he literally like, it was like a movie. He like laid flat, like naked, leaned down, bent his legs, and then jumped on top of a coffee table and out through the
Window.
out through the window. And I never ever forgot. Like it's like sometimes I get if I see a broken window, sometimes I'm like that. He jumped through 2 panes of windows. And he was bleeding so bad. His legs was cut up. His arms, his chest, like he was cut up. They had to staple them together.
So did he act like he didn't feel it, or he was just kind of?
He feel it though.
He was down there just laying there. His father actually was all getting high chilling, and his father like saw this nigga leap out, and he laid down on the ground, and his son ended up landing right on top of him. He should have been dead. He definitely should have been dead.
Damn, I wonder how far.
He was on that roof moving the fuck around. I tell you, he leapt through there. He was like, doop, doop, and then jumped off the roof.
Damn.
Okay, when is like the first time you cried after Heartbreak?
I say like real heartbreak, like you know you really
You cried like multiple days over it.
I say the first time I cried most of the day, my high school sweetheart, he ended up getting schizophrenia, and it was like really, really hard for me to deal with that shit. But I loved him so much, I didn't want to break up with him, because I was like, that you can't. Somebody needs you, babe. Like, but then it got to a point where I was going out to see him. I was seeing him in the hospital when he was in the little sane asylum and stuff. And it was just hard, like, cause he just didn't understand what was really going on, and he was like mad at me a lot of times, and he would blow me up and like demand stuff from me. He was just sick, you know. And I was young. I was really too young to be dealing with that, and I just didn't want to let him go. And my mom ended up telling me, "You gotta let him go."
Yeah.
Okay, so is there ever like a good excuse for being like disloyal or like a cheater?
Have you ever been a cheater?
I do not cheat. I have never cheated.
Me and here, that's
Ever.
No,
I know y'all say that, but I am not a cheater. I've been cheated on a million times. Like I could see people's text messages from other females that I've never seen before and be like, here you go, not even calling you. But I'm just not an investigator, so I can see stuff going on. See you fucking look like you with another bitch at the mall, but
But dudes, like, we think sometimes, like, at a certain age, you know what I'm saying? We think, like, y'all cheat the spirit. Like,
and
y'all
that's
gonna
what
cheat.
it is men are so sure that we cheat, but like I don't want to say maybe we different from where I'm from. Now, there's some cheaters from where I'm from, but we like don't be on that. I don't be on that. Like I way rather just be honest with somebody. Like the way that I speak, y'all can tell I'm an open book. I really it's hard for me to lie. It's extremely hard for me to lie. So
it's Virgo.
Yeah, like I'm Virgo. Direct. I don't be making shit up or like trying to hide. If I'm fucking with another nigga, you gonna know before I told you. But I just to me, no. I think there's not necessarily a time where you should be okay with being disloyal or you should be okay with being a cheater because you can always speak before them acts happen. You can easily open your mouth and say, hey, I saw what you was doing with so-and-so. You're disloyal, so I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing. Or you're a cheater, so I'm going to do my own thing. But there's never no need to do no tit for tat because that's childish to me. I got a life to live. I'm not here trying to get you back. That's not going to affect my life.
Yeah, we all got to die, so you got to be for real about certain shit.
Yeah, I'm spending like, what, months plotting on you? Because you fucking on her and I'm over here fucking on him. What am I doing? What am I doing? I could be by myself on a date with a nigga paying for something. Fucking with this nigga who clearly don't even want to stay with me. Why am I even doing this? I'm desirable. I can go anywhere.
Like, dudes dirty, but females can be dirty.
They can.
Nigga.
But you know what? Men and women are just humans. And people be very sure that men and women are different in a lot of different ways. But it's the person themselves. So if that person's perception is different and they think it's okay to take it to that level, they'll do it. And I know that here in Atlanta it's different. I want to say I love the women I've met here, but they sometimes be on some different values than the women in Indiana. Like it just be different.
What I'm saying is, yes, we all are human now, but you know what I'm saying, we're males and females. Like, how many niggas on the corner selling dick? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but
y'all have.
It's how many niggas on the corner you know selling dick, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. So that's what I'm saying is as many niggas that's out here fucking around, as many women that's out here. As many niggas out here scamming, as many women that's out here scamming. It's about who you fuck with. Yeah. If you happen to end up fucking around with one of them people like that, then see the red signs, red flags, get the fuck on. If they treat you bad and you sticking around, then you want to be there.
Well, this is Atlanta, but the niggas ain't on the corner, but they selling ass to niggas.
Niggas is out here like they out here selling whatever they got to get some money too.
Yeah.
I guess we'll do one more question. Okay, give me a bitter and sweet moment. It was bitter and sweet at the same time.
Bitter and sweet
at the same time. Bro, you got some
you got my man's impressed. No, I am having a good time. A bittersweet moment.
Like I give you an example. Like let's just say you in a bad relationship, and it's like the person they're about to leave you. You glad, but it's kind of because the human mind. If something leaves you, like you just automatically want it back. So somebody who treating you bad, but they gonna leave you. So
I've definitely had them situations. Me and my ex, we broke up probably like 20 million times, and I want to say, I think it was a bittersweet moment for me when we broke up the last time. I went back to stay with my mom, and a lot of stuff he used to tell me all the time was that I couldn't make it on my own, that I couldn't move out and pay my own rent by myself, that because of my phobia after my dad passed, you can't drive on the highway, so how you gonna get back to Atlanta? You can't, like, he, you know what I'm saying, would kind of make me feel that way and say that kind of stuff, and so I was afraid that I couldn't really live my life if I left him. And
that was his game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, you need me. You always gonna need me. Type thing. Yeah. I mean, and he cool now. He alright. He realized he had them demons fighting him. Yeah. But it just that was a big thing for me. And I was like, I had a bunch of friends in the city. I was home, so everybody was kind of making me feel like how I used to feel when I was younger, like, you know, invincible. And they all just kept telling me, like, you can do anything. And I was like, you know what? I can't do anything. I'm going back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm getting my place back. And I don't give a fuck what they nigga talk about.
Shit, yeah.
Yes, then I was ready to do it. And he ended up coming over telling me, you can't do it. Like, I got a car. You know, I can ride behind you.
Yeah,
I can help you
right.
out. And I just realized, like, he kept having an excuse for everything I had to say. I was like, well, I don't need you to do that. I'm going to just drive in my car. Okay,
things.
well, why don't I do this? Oh, well, why don't I do that? Well, why don't I? And I was just like, he just saying anything. And then he just got mad, like a flip of a switch, and was like, you going to leave me down here? We came down here together. How dare you leave me down here? And that was like, I was like, yeah, you don't want the best for me. I used to think that we was at least friends. And you wanted the best for me.
Just talking to an open person, just the two things, like male and female in the relationships, excuses and fucking liars. Like what?
It's
like
just
you
what
ain't
you
gotta
learn,
lie
like,
about that.
People be going crazy about certain things, but people personalities be, his was more like, I call it everything must go, is what I call it, because it's like it's a sale. So you got to say anything, do anything to keep this motherfucker around. What else I got in my ass to pull out to say? Oh, also you can't do that because you know it was a everything must go type of vibe, and I was just like, you know, thank you for coming by, thank you for trying to be helpful. Please leave. And we didn't talk again for a long time until I went down there and I got down there and I took the roadway, y'all. It took me 12 hours to get back to Atlanta. But the Lord was with me, you know. I made it here.
Yeah, but for any guy, you better off making the woman feel like you need, you know what I'm saying? You need her instead of trying to put her down and make her feel like it's the other way around. But we appreciate you stopping by. Maybe you'll come back, or maybe you can special guest co-host. You know, if you got the time to. And matter of fact, give out your handles and stuff.
Yes, you can follow me at Brooke Legione, Brooke Legion, Legione. I am on all major platforms. The album Uncompromised is everywhere. All platforms, anywhere you can search it, it is there. So please check it out. Thank you for listening.
All right, we're gonna go out on her single to an NBLB, and we'll be right back.